What is up, everyone? This is Jeff from Jeff Needs Sports. This is OTBN365. This is Thursday, June 2nd, year 2022. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with my technical difficulties this morning. I tell you what, it's a weird business. The mix of humans and computers sometimes just it's a Skynet situation. Again, it's a Skynet situation, but I think we're good. So thanks for being here, everyone. Yeah, so tonight, Thursday, is game one of the NBA Finals. Looking forward to that. It should be a good one this year. Good matchup. So, but first, we're going to talk about the NHL playoffs first. So last night, the New York Rangers, blow out the Lightning 6-2. The two-time defending champion Lightning 6-2 in game one of the Eastern Conference Finals over there. So that's a big deal. New Yorkers are getting pumped up. Rangers fans all around the country or the world are getting pumped up. This is obvious. I think this was key. I think the Rangers snagging game one or at least two, one of the first two games, I think ensures it's a 7-game series. So I'm excited about this. The scores are up, in the NHL, which, hey, that never hurts. People like goals and people like action. So it looks like we're going to have a good series. So congratulations to the Rangers and congratulations to Rangers fans, I guess. So that's about all I know. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the game last night, but I'm sure it was great. That's my hot take. I'm sure that Rangers played really good last night. So that's about all I have on the Rangers. So let's talk about the NBA Finals tonight. We're not going to drag this out too long today. So final starts tonight, 9 p.m., of course, because the sports hate people that live on the East Coast. So final started 9 p.m. tonight. And it's Golden State Warriors versus Boston Celtics. If you don't know, if you don't follow, good matchup. So, like we talked about yesterday, this is a case of, a dynasty versus a young team trying to, on the other end of the spectrum, trying to start a dynasty with the core group of players. So it's really fun matchup. Anytime the Celtics are in the finals, you got a lot of eyeballs. I mean, they're a historic franchise in sports. Especially in the NBA, they're tied for the most championships of all time. Like we talked about, they're going for that. So always a lot on the line for the Celtics. Golden State, we know their story. They've been great for 10 years now. This is their 6th finals appearance with this group, Steph and Clay and Draymond. But that's where things are a little weird. So I don't want to call it a blemish, but the Warriors are 3-2 in finals. 3 championships is great, but I mean, there is something to it. They've only beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, that's the only team that Golden State has beat to win a championship. Now, it was LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, but nonetheless, it's still only so that the only matchup that we've seen them win is is to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I think, if we're going to talk about what's on the line here, I think this is important too. This is where Steph and Clay and Draymond can become legends. This group, this team can become, a historic team. They win the 4th championship, which is a big deal. And they beat, honestly, another team and a good Boston team. So if they win this, they will have, validated a lot of things in people's mind, whether they needed to or not. So that's what's on the line for them. Boston, again, can they begin a dynasty? They've got a great young core. These guys have been there a while, so that's what's cool about this. They're at the time to where they're ready to start winning these championships, but they're so young. How many can they win, or how long can they compete for them? I mean, Milwaukee's not going anywhere. The Heat show up, seems year in and year out. But this is where, not only can Boston, again, Boston become another legendary champion, but can they start their own dynasty and the Warriors dynasty, so to speak. So that's just kind of the big picture stuff that's on the line here, the big storylines. But when I look at the keys to just my keys to the game, when I say keys to the game, it's like when I'm watching this game, what am I watching for? What are the things that I'm like, oh, okay, that's going good for this team, or that's going good for that team? So I'll just kind of go down through the list here of things that, So I'm not a basketball genius like a lot of the guys at the Off the Ball Network are. These are just things I look for. Can Golden State, for a series, can they keep up the energy and health? They're a veteran team. Klay Thompson basically hadn't played in almost 3 years. He's had spurts to where he looked close to the old Klay, which if that's the case, then that's a whole different series. But he had times during the Memphis series to where it looked like he might not belong on the floor. So can this, and Draymond's not not the offensive player he was. Steph is pretty much still it basically at the same high level as always. But anytime you have a veteran team, they're going to have to lean on Jordan Poole a little bit, lean on Wiggins a little bit. But can they stay healthy for the whole series against this physical, fast, young Boston team? So that's key. It's just it's like anything. They've played a lot of games. These guys have been playing playoff basketball for almost 2 months. Can they stay healthy? So can Golden State, keep up the energy? Can Boston react to the Golden State scoring outburst? That's what this team has done for a decade. Golden State, they'll get a turnover maybe on defense, and then the next thing you know, they go on a 10 to 12-0 run or something like that, and put you in a hole for the rest of the game. That's what they've done. They know when to go for the jugular. They know when to put their foot on the gas, and they'll take. And with this team, Steph or Klay especially, like they can score from anywhere on the court, literally. And if they get it going, they can put these scoring outbursts on you real quick. Can Boston recover from that? Can Boston calm down? Can they still keep, can they still stay in their game plan? Can they still stay aggressive and chip away at the game? Or what we see a lot of teams do, Dallas had a big problem with this. Golden State goes on a burst, and then Dallas thinks they immediately have to answer the burst, and then they actually turn the ball over more, and they miss more shots, and then the defensive rebounds turn into transition, and then you're out of a game. So can Boston react and recover from the Golden State scoring outburst? That's a big one for me, actually. Can Golden State wear out Tatum, on both ends of the floor? And I think the key to this is Andrew Wiggins. If you tell me Golden State's going to win this series, I think there's a good chance that Andrew Wiggins is up there for series MVP, because just like Milwaukee did it, and Miami almost succeeded at this. You have to keep Tatum. Tatum is the key. Like, I understand Brown and Tatum, they're almost simultaneous in the stats, but Tatum is the key to Boston. And can you make him focus on defense? Can you make him use energy on defense? Can you make him concentrate on the defensive end so much? And then on the offensive end, can you stay with it and not let him have easy shots, make him work for everything? Can Golden State possibly wear Tatum out mentally and a little bit physically to deplete his power so far? He's recovered. He was the Eastern Conference MVP, but they have to. They have to make this guy concentrate. That like they did with LeBron back in the day. I know LeBron, almost averaged a triple-double a couple times in the series against Golden State in the finals. But you just have to make him work constantly, put so much burden on him that maybe if you get to game 6 and 7, that's when that's going to take effect. So, that's one of those. Can they do it? And again, I think Wiggins, he's a good defender. He's got the length. He's going to match up. I would imagine he's going to match up with Tatum a lot. So if Wiggins has a really good series, then I think that's good for Golden State. Another one for Boston, Williams and Horford have to drag Draymond through the mud, is what I saw. They have to get him down low. They have to bang around. They have to constantly fight for rebounds, because that's kind of Draymond's thing. He gets really great at the 50-50 balls, and they got to be down there. And even if he's getting the rebound, they have to slam into him. They have to make him work really hard. He's not he's not as big. If Williams is healthy, I have no idea if Rob Williams is going to be healthy or not for the series. If he's not healthy, then I think that's a big minus. But if they can get him down low, and then Horford, if he can go down there and bang around for a rebound, and then also drag him out to the perimeter and just make him work, that's huge, because I don't really think the replacements, the subs for Draymond are the same type of player. And I think this Golden State team still runs a lot of offense through Draymond. So I think it's can the forwards, if Horford can cancel out Draymond, then I think Boston wins the series. And the way he's played so far, he can. But I don't think Horford I don't know if he's just at that Draymond level as far as, rebounding and things, but I might be totally wrong about that. He's had a pretty good playoff so far. And then I have, again, I got Boston has to resist easy shots and keep being aggressive. Dallas fell into this a little bit. Golden State would set up their defense to basically, free up, the corner threes and stuff. And Dallas would, took the bait, and that's fine. If they drop, you probably win the game, but Golden State will adjust to that. But if I see Marcus Smart out here, taking, 10 threes a game, then that's a plus for Golden State. They have to keep, even if they drop back on the perimeter, Boston has to keep going to the hoop and has to keep making these guys work, especially make Clay and Steph chase you around the court. They can't take shots early in the shot clock. They have to constantly keep that pressure on, like a lot like they did with Milwaukee. This is how Boston, burnt Milwaukee out, and we're able to survive that series because they just kept the pressure on, early in the series when they, were settled more for the outside shot. It allows the other team, even though, you might get a good shot out of it, you're not wearing the other team out so they can set up their offense, so forth. So Boston just has to keep pressing, being aggressive. And there's nothing wrong with a kick out three, but they can't settle for this. They cannot take the bait on what Golden State will give them. It just makes it too easy on an older team. And then one of my last ones is I apologize, but Smart has to play smart. He likes playing Steph. He's eager, but he likes the challenge. He's got a bit of a, he's got a bit of a confidence about this. If he gets caught up in the Steph game and tries to go, mano a mano versus Steph will that Golden State would love that. Golden State would love for, Marcus Smart to think that all of a sudden he is the Steph Curry 2.0. And he hasn't really shown that he's going to come up in that, but I mean, that is something to watch for. And they try to do that, again, with the finals. And I keep bringing up the Cavs finals because, again, that's the only one Golden State's won. But like, if they, J.R. Smith would fall into that, like, oh, I'm going to get in a shooting contest with Steph. And the next thing you know, you're getting blown out and everybody's staring at you like, what are you doing? Smart has to, again, not take the bait, keep passing the ball, keep driving the ball, make Steph work on defense. So those are the things. Basically, I think it's going to be a really good series. Both these teams are high quality teams, extremely well coached teams. I have no reason to think that it's not going to be a great 7-game series. I'm not worried about what we just saw in the Western and Eastern finals. I'm concentrated on this series, and as a standalone, I think it goes 7. My official pick is still Boston. I'm sticking with it. I've been on them since probably game 2 of the Net series. I'm not giving up now, but I do think this Golden State team is better than I thought it was 2 weeks ago. So it's I'd say Boston in 7, and it's going to be close. I really do. I think it's the writing's on the wall, but you never know. Steph may have in his 40-point finals, and it may be over in 4. Honestly, at this point, none of us know. Attrition. These guys do have some rest, so that's going to be important. So, all right, that's my quick NBA Finals preview. I'm Jeff from Jeff Needs Sports. This has been OTBN365. Please go to offtheballnetwork.com and check out all of our content creators over there. We appreciate the support, the subscribes, the likes, everything you do for us. It's been good. So have a great Thursday, everyone. I'm out.